Okay, the Google world. And forgive me if I go a little quickly, but there's so much I want to cover. So we're going to start in the world of Google. Google does a lot of stuff. They do Google Voice, Google Apps, Google Docs, Google Tasks, Google Reader, iGoogle. It's like Google everything. And the truth is, there are some really useful tools within the world of Google, and there are some that are not so much useful. You probably won't need to use them all. So I'm going to focus on a few key apps that I think are actually really useful in the world of business. One important distinction to make is that there's the consumer world of Google, which is everything at google.com, like Gmail or Google Calendar. And then there's the business world of Google. They have a whole separate arm which deals with businesses. And for businesses, you can utilize your own .com, whatever your .com is. Mine is customlivingsolutions.com. And you can utilize that domain within Gmail, within Google Calendar, within whatever apps you want to use for your business. So it's a completely separate service. What manages that service for business is what's pretty much the kitchen sink of working with Google. Google Apps for your domain. Essentially, this is a service that Google provides both for free and in multiple paid versions, where you can host your email, your calendar, your shared documents. Everything that you might want to collaborate with people on within your business, you can manage under Google Docs, Google Apps for your business. It's a really comprehensive and powerful tool. What's great about this is A, that it's really cheap or free even, and also that it's really easy to add people into your domain. If you've ever worked with an outside domain provider, it's not always easy to add just an additional user really quickly. If you add on a VA or an intern or an additional team member, even for a short time, it can be somewhat challenging to even add them on with an additional email address or login ID. With Google Apps, they give you a whole set of tools and even a really simple screen where you can add these people in really quickly and easily. Once they're inside of your domain, inside of your company within the Google Apps, then you can do all sorts of cool things with them, which I'll show you in a minute. It's really powerful and really flexible and integrates well with other outside tools that you might want to use. Google Apps comes in a couple different editions. Standard, which is free, and you can have, I think, up to 25 users. A limited feature set, but pretty good for what most of us will probably need. Then beyond that, there's the, I believe it's called Premier Edition. They change the names of these things sometimes, but right now it's Premier Edition, which is $50 per user per year, which gives you additional features like really smooth synchronization with Outlook. There's some free synchronization with Outlook that's offered, but it's not like what you get with the paid edition. Another big difference in features is you can call up Google when you have a problem. With the free edition, you get no support other than what you can find on their website. So for some of us, that'll make a difference. For some of us, not. This is what the management screen for Google Apps for your domain looks like. So you can see that this is for my domain. It's not at google.com. And these are the different services that I have right now for my business. So I have a bunch of different things that I use within the realm of Google. I actually use the standard edition, which is free. And it's been enough for me for multiple years now. Let's look a little bit about each of these different services within the world of Google. First is Gmail for your domain. How many people here use Gmail? So actually quite a few of you. Gmail is a really flexible, powerful tool for managing email. What's nice about it is that, generally speaking, it's really hard to fill up. It's different than using something like Outlook, where you have a PST file that lives on your computer, and as it grows and grows and grows with more email, it gets slower and slower. Gmail, since everything is hosted on the Google sites, it's never slow. As long as your internet connection is fast, it's easy for you to find your email that you may have filed years ago, and you can have huge attachments. It's really slick. What's nice also is that the storage never seems to run out. As you approach your storage limit, it grows accordingly. And so as time goes on, you don't have to worry about archiving your old email, especially in the world of business where you might want to look up a client that you worked with 6 years ago, maybe even 3 years ago when you worked on a big project. If you're keeping that on your computer, it tends to slow things down as your email file grows, and you might have archived those to a different folder. Finding those later is really challenging in some cases. But when you have everything stored in one central place, in something like Gmail, it's really easy to find that stuff again later. So that's a really nice feature. Also, when you add people to your team and you add them on as Gmail accounts within Google Docs for your domain, or Google Apps for your domain rather, you'll see them in your chat list. So if you need to collaborate with them, you'll see them online, which is really nice. Instead of having to send emails back and forth for a simple conversation, sometimes you can do just a quick chat and you'll have a detailed record of that because that gets saved as well. So it's a little scary in a way that Google is keeping all of this stuff, but it's also really handy. So you have to balance those two things in your mind. So this is my Gmail. I blurred out some of this stuff. Sorry for the outlandish number of emails in my inbox. I have, I think, 18 in there, which to me is like one step closer to death. But I'm an organizer, so there you go. So you'll see, note some of the differences here. So this is different than what you see in regular Gmail. This is my company logo, not the Gmail logo. It shows my @customlivingsolutions.com address, and it shows the different people that are, well, down here, the different people on my team that are in my chat list. So it's very different than what you'll see in your standard consumer Gmail. You can have both, but if you want to use this for your business, you have to set this up separately.
Can you import Outlook into it?
You can. Actually, Gmail works really well with Outlook if you get the Premier Edition, because it comes with what's called the Outlook connector, and that lets you essentially use this as an exchange server. So one nice thing, although we're not talking about desktop tools, if you're attached to using Outlook, you can still utilize this as the back end to your Outlook, which is really nice. And much more cost effective, generally speaking, than using a monthly exchange server. Yes?
How many emails do you normally have in your inbox?
Me? I don't like having more than 20.
How do you do that?
That's a whole separate topic. I'm very voracious about managing my emails.
So do you put them in folders and organize
I
them all
process
well?
them.
Is that what you do?
I actually do the tasks on each
Yeah.
one.
Wow.
I'm not, you know, I'm weird. I'm an organizer. Like, don't hold that up as a statement. I have issues.
I can help.
Yes. So that's Google email, Gmail for your domain. Next up is Google Calendar for your domain. How many people here use Google Calendar? Okay, not quite as many, but some. Google Calendar is really awesome because it's more than just your calendar, or it can be, especially if you're working with multiple people. And I'll say that a lot because a lot of us, even though we might be solopreneurs, maybe we work with VAs or outside consultants, we need to share some data. And if you need to do that, it's easier to centralize everything than send things out via email. Google Calendar is really great if you work with other people on scheduling. So let's say, for instance, you work with a VA to help schedule your time. They can log into your Google Calendar within your domain, see when your free or busy times are, and then put things directly on your calendar. Not send you an email with, oh, I made you an appointment at such and such time. They can put it directly on your calendar, which can then synchronize with your BlackBerry or iPhone or your Android phone or whatever phone you're on, so that wherever you are, you'll know when things are automatically updated for you. It's really, really nice. For me, I work with someone else who does most of my client scheduling. And when I'm out in the world, I want to be able to know if there's been a change. That's automatically synchronized to my phone because it's managed by Google Calendar, which is really slick. Yes?
So you have the branded email versus in Google, just the generic account, you have send mail as. Why do you want to use one or the other? And so do you have to go check your personal email here and your business email here?
So, okay, let me back up a minute. Here's my philosophy on managing email. You have your business email and you have your personal email. Never the twain shall meet. That makes it a lot easier to manage them, especially when you're trying to focus on doing your business tasks during business time. Keep your business email separate. So yes, they're in two completely different places. When I want to log into my personal email, I have to go to gmail.com and log in. When I want to go to my business email, I go to, I think it's like googleapps.customlivingsolutions.com, and then I log in from there.